Yeah, what is going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. Happy New Year! This is the first episode of the new year.
I couldn't even wait.
Hello,
everyone.
Just to give y'all some behind the scenes exposure. This is the third time us recording this because Mr. Wilson's computer is acting redonkulous.
Mr. Wilson's computer is trying to still hang on to 2020.
It really is. I don't know, but thank you to everyone who's continuing to support us, listening to the show, tagging us. Shout out to David Bradley, just tagged us to another potential podcast guest. Awesome. Shout out to everyone who was on the show in 2020 and the people who will be on the show in 2021. We hope that you had a safe and wholesome New Year's celebration. Hopefully you didn't go out gathering, risking the covis. Hopefully not. Shout out to our sponsors, Retro Mimi, for retro handheld game emulation, Acre Gold, where you can subscribe and pay monthly towards bars of gold, Garner's Garden, who sells organic products like hair care, skin care, and oral health care. Check them out. And Blackwater, who sells flavored water that is literally black because of the minerals that are put in it. Just wanted to shout them out. They are in the description. I have the co-host with the most, whose lovely radio voice that you've heard, her $1 million voice, Miss Jessica Fountain, aka J Foe, who is always vibrating higher. Jessica, what's going on?
Oh my God. The fact that you are in rare form on air, I'm here for it, because normally this is our shenanigans off air. I mean, you give it to us sometimes, but today you are on it.
I have to.
And I can appreciate it. So, life is well. I am happy about the new year. I mean, okay, Sundays are self-care Sunday for me. Mm-hmm. And today, this house is spotless. I have a great meal prepared for after this recording, and just decompression. I'm feeling it for 2021. So
I'm glad you are feeling it.
Yeah. You look
I let this energy out. I gotta go back to work, and I don't know what I'm walking into, but I'm gonna remain positive. Either way, I'm gonna knock it out of the park because I'm great at what I do. But I just don't. I just don't like indecisiveness. It's just like, and I kind of feel like my Christmas break, even though it was 2 weeks, it felt like it was 2 days now. Now that like, oh, tomorrow's like, yeah, get your ass up, for reals. So, I'm gonna steal your intro here. So Jessica has been doing a damn good job with topics. She's actually making me sweat a little bit. I ain't gonna steal it. Go ahead. What's the first ting?
What's the first what?
Ting.
Tingman.
Yes.
Tingman. We are talking about setting intention.
Sure.
First ting. So, I've been very intentional this year. Like, it's only 3 days in now, and just small intentional steps to set myself up for like some things that I have planned. Like, I'm excited about the year. I'm excited that we are it's just that fresh start, new beginning. I know some people are like, I don't do New Year's resolutions, and I don't do like the whole New Year's thing per se. And I'm not a person that only does it, but I choose to use this as a jumpstart too. So, does that make sense?
Yes, makes sense.
I do it all year. I'm always restarting and realigning.
I like the way you phrase that.
But I use it as an opportunity to like shake things up a bit. All right, new year, let's go. Let's get it. We got 362 days in this year. What can we do with it? So that is what I'm doing. I always challenge people in general to be intentional, because I think that when you do set intention, it really helps get the thing done, like whatever it is. So when you intentionally put something on a list, like you're you're also going back to check the list. You're not just putting it in a space that you never hopefully check. Some people do, and they need to now focus from the list to being more intentional about checking their list. Or there's a little slight disconnect. So it's like finding out where your challenges are and then being really intentional about making that challenge or that problem a little bit better, and what can you do to aid in it getting accomplished.
I wish mine was as profound as yours, but um, I have a couple of things. My first is continuing to have an open mind, acknowledging my shortcomings and accepting help. Collaboration is very big. I have not always been the greatest collaborator or the best collaborator. And part of that journey is knowing what you're not good at. And, my mentor, shout out to Corin J. Millette, Exit Realty Low Country Group, pointed out to me, just in getting to know me, it was, told me that he said, I noticed you do a lot of things, but he said, do you think you suffer from the syndrome of jack of all trades, master of none? And that stuck with me. And I've kind of cut down on a lot of the stuff that I do, and I just stick to what I'm good at. I do like to be aware of what's going on and like to have a base knowledge, because I don't want to build something and then literally be dependent on everyone, and if someone leaves it crumbles because I have no knowledge. But I also know what I'm not good at. I know what my weaknesses are, so I look for people who can complement that. And I basically switch into student mode. You know what I'm saying? Teach me. I don't need to be this omniscient being where I think I know everything and you can't teach me nothing. No, hey, I suck at this. Can you show me? Great, thanks. Let's continue to work together.
Right.
Also,
We have that in common a lot. Like that piece,
got
check.
to, got to.
Yeah.
My other one, which is a mini rant that I'm going to cut down heavily. Breaking bad networking habits and working in uncomfortable spaces in order to grow. Um, this is gonna sound bad, but I don't mean it the way it's probably gonna sound. My circle, the people I deal with, the people I fucks with, the people I talk to, the people that I'm going to work with, I'm probably already attached to them and we're already working towards it. So to me, that lets me know I need to grow my circle or find new circles and attach myself to new things, because my same old comfortable circles, we're there. It's not moving. There are some people that we are moving, but a majority of them is just sitting still. It's just still talk, right? So I'm like, all right, there's opportunities out there for new networking. So get into some uncomfortable zones. Talk to some people you don't normally talk to, or interact with people you wouldn't normally interact with, so you can see if you can find more growth. I'm going to be doing that on Clubhouse. Some people are using Clubhouse as just a social platform to talk to the same people they talk to now. I'm not going to do that. My
And
goal
Rob,
on
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry, I'm going to
Go.
stop you really quickly. For those that are not aware, what is Clubhouse?
I'm not telling. It's exclusive. No,
Oh,
Clubhouse is it
okay.
is exclusive. Actually, you have to be invited. Clubhouse is a voice chat app. You can create a profile. You put up a profile picture, and people create rooms with titles, and you can pop into the room. And the people in the room are speaking. They can invite you up to speak and add to the discussion, or you can remain in the audience and just listen. That's very powerful to be able to have a speaking interaction with someone versus just a text or email or likes and comments type of interaction. So it's an immediate opportunity for a fresh introduction and a meaningful exchange with people. And my focal point is going to be one, socializing a little bit. We're definitely going to try to get our own podcast club group on there going for From My Experience podcast. So keep an eye out for that and an ear out for that. But I'm also going to use it to network with other people. I've already connected with a few people, and I've learned quite a few things about myself and some business type of things. So yeah, just think about those new opportunities that you have. When you have a new opportunity for a fresh start, why don't you make it a fresh start? Do something different. So that's what I'm going to do.
I like it. I think that um, not approaching things always with the same eye or the same approach is helpful in general um, in life. Like
You fired. Don't
it.
try it.
I'm sorry, guys.
I watched
So
my iPad go off because I'm talking trash. Go ahead.
To our listeners that keep up with every episode, we have this rolling thing of being fired when someone phones goes off because we're supposed to be on vibrate or mute. And today I would be the fired one. So, um, I was trying to make sure that I didn't miss your call. And I think I missed your call earlier.
You absolutely did. Oh, and I hit my elbow.
But anyway,
Hmm.
yeah, like not having the same approach to everything. Like even business owners and like your approach to social media just in general should be different. Like I think business owners get that because there's different platforms for different things, but sometimes just living your life you don't really see it, you just see yourself in a platform. So I do think it is very good to come at it with a different angle and approach it for what you want to gain out of it instead of always playing not playing the victim but being the victim or being the weaker party or being the like I'm just on Clubhouse.
Hmm.
Like let Clubhouse work for you. Like this is what I get from Clubhouse, this is what I'm doing in Clubhouse, despite just kind of being one in the number. So
Yeah.
I'm real intentional again, that word, about social media in general.
Hmm.
So like my Instagram is a little like that. So I like that. I think it is very purposeful to have to use things for the benefit of you. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it
and
should be.
you can connect deeper with communities on there too. Like, there I met someone who does they care for the elderly, and she started a group and talked about how they exchange information on different techniques and things that are going on in their industry. I've seen rooms where people were talking about being abuse victims, and they shared stories and people dealing with depression. So you literally can have an instantaneous conversation with people, granted if they're being honest, that can relate to you. So you have it's just not the same as being in a Facebook group with thousands of people and you comment and you're reading. It's different when you can actually talk to someone and have an engaging conversation, and it's open 24/7. People are always on there, so you can always have that conversation or always just sit back and listen. So I think it's dope. But we ain't trying to tell you what to do with your social media, but just know that you got options out there.
Yes, you do have options. Speaking of options, not really the best segue.
It is a good segue.
I'm like, speaking of options, there's a lot of options out there. And we wanted to talk about planning for productivity. Um, it is something that I have been forced to somewhat become uh, expert on through being an entrepreneur. Naturally, and I talk about this often too. I am an artist. I am a creative. I am very squirrel brained. I have ideas that just pop up like weeds in a garden. They just popping up everywhere. Like idea, idea. Probably had three already during this episode, and I don't say that braggingly. Like as with all of our gifts, they come in abundance, and they also have, if you're not in control of your gift, it can also kind of hinder you, so it makes you mature in your gifting. And for me, I just had to figure out how to not be distracted, because you said earlier about being a jack of all trades and master of none. Shout out to the good friends that told us obviously both this thing, because I've heard that too.
Hmm.
And that's good just in general to have friends that hold you accountable and that are not just your yes man. But that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother day. But how to really put focus and attention on getting the things done that you want done. And for me, all of these ideas are popping up. I need a way for one, how to house my ideas, how to implement them, and how to really like work them. So with that, there's so many different systems and softwares out there, and we wanted to put some focus this year on sharing some of those softwares and some of those things that are helping us become more productive, because I think everyone's shifting to that. If you didn't do
Yes.
it in 2020 and you were not in the planning stage, or maybe you discovered in 2020 that I need to do this. This is something that I need to probably work on. And now you're in 2021, this like euphoria of like we've all been looking for it. Like here we are, we're in it. And how do we now make it count? And so we wanted to introduce you to some systems that have been working for us, some things that we're learning in implementing new programs, and we wanted to make it really easy for you. So the first one, and we're only going to discuss this one today, but as the
I'm gonna
episode is
sneak another one in there, but I ain't gonna talk about it long. But go ahead.
okay, okay, that's fine. Well, we're going to discuss more because there's some good ones out there.
Yeah.
But we wanted to put focus on the Google platform. Pretty much everyone, or a whole lot of people, have Gmail, Google Mail. But within Google Mail and their other apps, they have like a series, family of apps. And one of them being their Keep. It's called Google Keep. That is a note program. And I know a lot of people already have a built-in note software on your phone. Um, but why we're highlighting Google Keep in comparison to others is that it is cross platforms. And so for myself, I have an Android. Rob has an iPhone. And so we wanted to, well, one, that was our dilemma. And it was like, how do we easily and efficiently, without too much workaround, communicate with each other ideas that go beyond a email? And so we discovered Google Keep. It's really easy. What I love about the Google family is that they have all of these integrations. And if you're like, okay, now we're talking about a whole lot, just give me like 2 minutes of integrations. You want to get familiar with that term. You want to really like look at what are you using and how does it integrate with something else that you're using. And a lot of these softwares do integrate with each other, but we just don't know anything about it. And if you're not a business owner, you're probably not looking for those integrations per se, but they're very helpful in entrepreneurship and personally. So one thing about Google Keep, we can send it to like your email really effortlessly. If you are in your Gmail and you like, I need to make a note, instead of going to your phone, you can just hit one button that's already in the Gmail account and create a note. That note now is across all platforms. So instantly it's
Mm-hmm.
on your phone, it's on your desktop, it's on your tablet. Yesterday, when we did a prior recording that was accidentally deleted, I actually spoke. I said, "Hey Google," and the note was created for me. So that note was then on all of those platforms. So very easy, very effortless. You can use it for grocery store list. You can use it to um, just like, this is how we keep up with our show topics, our huddle topics. So a lot of endless use there. It's very easy. It integrates with a lot of other programs and softwares. So that's my rant on easy system. Check out all of the Google integrations because they're very helpful. There's one for Trello. There's one for Zoom. So if you were in your email and instead of cutting and pasting, like getting out of email to go to Zoom to get your link to go back to your email, you could just click a button and it pops up into your the email that you're writing. And another last topic, last piece on this, create templates for yourself, because you can use this as a note, and the things that you do every single day, like often, and you're constantly going into a system to get something that you need to copy and paste, whether that be code that you share with someone, or just something simple that we all use. Like if someone's visiting your house and they're like, "What's the address?" Those are things that you could keep in a note and copy and paste without having to duplicate that every single time someone asks for your address. Like, so you could just copy and paste it and it's in your Google Note. You know exactly where to go to, and it makes you a little bit more efficient. So instead of getting sidetracked and having to type that out and forgetting and then coming back and finishing the text, you can literally copy, paste, send, done. So that's my rant.
That is her rant. We'll be right back. We're going to take a precautionary break. And we are back. Just had to take a precautionary break. As I said, I've been having some computer issues. I didn't want to lose half of our episode. Thank you again, Jessica, for informing the people about Google Keep. It is very helpful. It's been helpful for me. I was one of the crass people who would use email and text, which can be it's highly dysfunctional. And Google Keep makes things much easier. Another thing I want to touch on, for those of you who require the same information for people with forms and things like that, Jot Forms has been a godsend. Shout out to Natasha Carter from the HBCU podcast. That's a thing she showed me. She sent me a questionnaire, and I said, "Oh, what's that? Oh, that's Jot Form. You can make forms on it, blah, blah, blah." She don't talk like that, sorry. But that's where we send our questionnaires. That's what we use to make questionnaires. I put contracts in there for signature and everything. I mean, you can get digital signatures and you can digitally sign things. So it has multiple uses, and you can also create an account so you can have multiple people that will have administrative access to create forms and check on forms and things of that nature. And I love the fact that they come right bike. So once someone completes a form, you get a notification letting you know that it's completed, and the completed form comes to your email. Also, they have a web-based version, like a www.jotforms.com, and they have an actual JotForms app. It works extremely well on your cell phone and tablets, extremely well. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's been such a lifesaver. But that's all I want to say about that. So Google Keep and Jot Forms, y'all check those out.
Yes, and we may possibly have an affiliate for that, so check the description below. It's free, but there's also some more advanced options.
I wish I could see the face she made. Now, touching back on planning for productivity, one of the things that I do, and I do very well, and it really pisses people off. It really pisses people off a lot of times. Because I am a hopeful type thinker. I do think positively, but I definitely prioritize. When anyone talks to me about a business venture, the first thing I want to do is assess the cost and the risk and the protections. So, prime example, if someone said, "Hey man, let's open a movie theater, right? Let's open a movie theater." First thing I want to know is, people like to sell you a dream. Oh yeah, we can do this, and we can have chicken wings, and we can have such and such night. They make it sound beautiful. My thing is this: what's it gonna cost? Okay, how much is insurance gonna cost? How much insurance do we need to have? And what are the risks? What happens if we have a bad month? What does that look like for us? What is that going to cost us? I like to look at what I'm getting myself into, because you don't know what can happen with your business. You should be optimistic. You should think positive, yes. But you should also keep in mind the business aspect of things, your cost factor, your coverage factor, and your expenses. That is highly important to me. So it's very hard to rope me into an idea or a plan if you cannot have those discussions. And the reason I'm like that is because I used to be the guy, when someone would tell me something cool like that, "Oh man, let's do it." Money gone. Nobody knew what happened. Then I did it again. Then I did it again. And I was like, well, why does this keep happening? It's like, you don't have a plan. You don't look at the other part. You look at how cool it is and how dope you think it is, but right, when it comes out, everybody else doesn't feel that way. So prioritizing what's actually important right now. Like, what's important right now? Like, even in the midst of having this podcast, the most important thing that I knew I needed was recording software and a microphone. right? So our microphone, so we can secure the sound quality. One of the things that I read when I was researching podcasts is if your sound quality is bad, you probably will not retain listeners. The other thing I needed was software so that I can record quickly and easily and effortlessly. I don't want to go through a whole bunch of changes. I use XSplit Broadcaster. Once I set it up, I have a saved presentation. All I got to do is open it, make sure my microphone is checked, do a little quick sound check. We're usually up and running and ready to record within 2 or 3 minutes. I do want some other pieces of equipment. I do want some other things, but there are other things I have to prioritize. Yes, I want a mixer so I can add little music cues and sound effects. Yeah, I want to do that. But guess what? That thing costs 600 funky ass dollars. Do I have something else that I can use that money for that is more important? Yes, I do. Like building a dope website. And now my computer is acting crazy. So I'm like, that we record over Skype, I need a more powerful computer. That is more of a priority than that shiny new toy that I saw 2 months ago that I almost bought about 3 or 4 times. And I'm glad I didn't. But not to rant, but when you really think about, you're planning, think about what is the priority, because you want to be successful, obviously. That's why you sit down and you plan it. You want it to be successful. So really consider those priorities. Jessica about to drop a bomb on y'all. Go ahead. Drop that gem, girl. I know you know. Tell them about Lash and Soul, god dang it.
No, well, as we started talking, I know we started off with Google Keep and then Jotform, and then what was the one we were just talking about?
Well, I said Skype and XSplit.
No. Okay. Anywho, I ruined the bomb dropping.
No, you didn't. Go ahead.
But planning for productivity, going back to being really aware of numbers and like your budget and all of these different things. Another one is adapting a calendar. Like,
oh gosh,
that goes with intention, and goes with notes, because taking notes, that would be my first mistake, which is probably why I started with Google Keep. And even as what I've learned now, I think I gave the information of how I learned it versus I think the most important, because I was taking a lot of notes and I had a lot of notebooks and I'm a writer, so I get it out. But you have to put it with a date, because if you just get it out and you don't attach it, it has to be attached to a date. It has to. That's where intention comes in, where a dreamer, a visionary, an entrepreneur, all of those people have ideas that just pop up. So you're going to overutilize Keep, probably to your detriment, or any note-taking software or pad and pencil, however you do it. But going back to the jack of all trades, master of none, that is the piece of our personalities that I think just they run with or without us. Like, whether we're on board with it or not, the ideas are popping up. So you have to get them out someplace, which is part one. But now that they're out and they're in the universe in real, because they're on a sheet of paper, now you have to go. What you're saying, Rob, is plan that out, how much this costs. So yes, you have this idea to have this movie theater, but how much does that cost? All of those details. So now you have a structure of what this takes to build this dream. And then now you need to take that structure and how long will it take me to achieve this?
Ooh.
Approximately.
Yes.
So the three of those things together, that is how you change your life. And I think that a lot of times, that was good for me. Just hearing it out loud. Mm-hmm. When you put all three of those together, because a note is basically a vision board. Right. When you start breaking it down, and so you have your vision, and then you go back and paint in structure in the vision, which is these boundaries of, okay, it costs $1,000, it costs $600, I only have $700, whatever the case may be. You know where you are. You know what you need to achieve the goal. So now you implement a strategy based off how many months will it take me to get the additional $300, like, or
Mm-hmm.
is that something that I can get in a week? So by 15 days out, I'm going to say I will have the additional $300 that will put me in budget. So then this is what I'm going to do next. This is what I'm going to do. Like, and piece by piece by piece, you start building the infrastructure to really achieve it. And then
Ooh,
you do the work.
infrastructure. Ooh, say that word again.
Infrastructure.
Y'all need to Google it. Dead ass. Like, yo, we're the next generation preparing for the next generation. We got to stop this out the back of mama house, out the back of the trunk of the car. We need to start getting buildings and locations and being visible so they can see these beautiful black plate faces in business and in the business world. Highly visible. Highly
Highly
visible.
visible. I like that. Highly visible. Highly vibrating higher and highly visible.
Mm, that's all I got
Anywho,
on that. You want to talk about huddles?
well,
We have that on there.
no, I don't.
Okay.
I think we will lead, like, I feel like that is it. That's part one. And we can catch up on with the huddle because huddles are important,
Yeah.
but I don't want to, I really want people to get what we just said because I think if you can digest that and replay this episode and make notes of that and you utilize that. If I had to give you 3 free apps, you're going to be Google Keep for getting all your vision out, getting all your ideas out, helping you really like section it out like piece by piece, and then jot forms to make it legal. To like maybe you have to do a survey. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you want to have this movie theater, but and you want to do the wings, but you need to do a survey for it, and you need to see what flavors sell. What do people like? Do people really like lemon pepper, or is that like a Rick Ross cliche thing, or do they prefer like a barbecue sauce? Like put
Oh.
all of that down on a survey for free because with the free uh membership, well,
Yeah.
it's tiered,
Yep.
so they do have a free option, and that's 5 forms which you can embed into your website so it can be professional. If you go to lashandsoulstudio.com, you can click on the client forms. My new clients, they have an intake form, and then they also have a policy form. So these are, you get that structure, and then you're putting this stuff on a calendar. So some people use actual paper calendar.
Yep.
I think I am a writer, so I do like that. However, my optimized way of functioning now is through a digital calendar because again, I have to know me, and I will run out of the house. Some days I forget my glasses at home. Some days I forget my tea. I make the tea and the tea is in the car. But the thing that I'm most less likely to leave is my phone. And if I leave my phone when I get to work, there's an iPad. So with these systems and a calendar that's digital, it's on every device. So if you
Yes.
leave a device, you still have your structure. Like you still can function in the day because you plan the day. Um, so that would probably be my bonus. Every day, plan your day, the date, the upcoming day. That's my bonus.
I think you have another bonus.
What?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm looking at Google Keep. You looking at Google Keep? You have another bonus.
Okay.
Ahem.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
We
Uh-huh.
do have another bonus. So I am doing a soul talk, and I wanted to invite everyone. It's tentatively scheduled for January the 10th. And I'm feeling like I want to move it to the 11th just because 111 seems to radiate with me. But you can follow at Exposure, which is my social media platform. This Soul Talk will be solely focused on what I'm tapping into right now. but how to do that on a spiritual, soulful level of um, starting your vision, and not even starting it, but identifying what you envision for your life and really cultivating that and seeing the results. I promise you, I can't even put into words how much of my life people are like, how did you do that? And it was pretty much, I wrote it down. I started with the piece that I knew, which is not always a lot. Sometimes it's just Google it.
Yeah.
And I start with that one piece because I know Google exists. I Google if this is something that I can even do. Does this exist? Like, what is this thing that I've just came up with? And then I move forward with the breadcrumbs of that. And I say all that to say is you can put anything, like your vision is yours. So don't limit it and don't stop it. And I wanted to kind of dive into that in a very, I don't know, intimate way. I want it to be intimate. I want it to be a fresh start. So that, look forward for that. I'm going to just go ahead and say the 11th, but pay attention to my social media because that is in the works.
Spell it
So
for the people.
at exposure, which is EXPOZ, as in zebra, HER. So expose her.
Yes. So when you post those updates or whatever, make sure you tag me or text it to me, and I'll put it on the FME_podcast page and the complete spelled with the K underscore vision page. Follow all three of us, but
Oh,
definitely
shoot.
make sure you follow. Make sure you follow exposure. That
And I wanted to say something while you were saying that. I hate when I don't write it down because
do that
that
all
is
the time.
my superpower. Sometimes I forget, so I have to write things down. But oh, it's, mark my word, I am going to meet Tracy Ellis Ross. And when I meet Tracy Ellis
Give
Ross,
her my phone number.
like,
Oh, sorry.
it is going to be so epic. But I say that because I put that on my social media today, and it's something that I'm just manifesting and manifesting, and I just know in my gut like that's going to happen. Like, I know it's going to happen. And I just want to be prepared for that encounter. Like, because I don't know if that means I'm going to work with her. We're going to be BFFs. I don't know. No, these things are unknown. But I do know that I'm going to meet her. And I think that you should think there should be things in you that you just feel in your gut that you know, that you know, that you know. And that's one of them. And I believe writing it down, written that down. So it will manifest. And I
Yep.
believe that strongly in manifestation.
Man, I was gonna make a manifestation joke, but you said manifestation because I was like, she didn't say manifestation, so I'm gonna use a manifestation joke moment, and I couldn't do it because you
Eh,
said it. You got me.
you see? My spirit world.
You
Pow!
got it.
You
Y'all got.
will not.
That's all we got for y'all today. Hopefully you gathered some great gems. Hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully this is the breath of fresh air you needed to start out 2021 correctly. Don't forget you can start out with some new products and a new investment with Retro Mimi, Gardener's Garden, Acre Gold, and Blackwater. Check for those links in the description. Don't forget, once again, I'm going to say it again. If you are not following us on social media, From My Experience Podcast, we have a great Facebook group. We are on Instagram, FME_podcast. You can follow me personally at complete_vision. We're also on Fanbase, which is a new social media platform that actually lets content creators monetize their content. It's very helpful and very cool. I actually invested in it. But we are also on there as FME_podcast. I wanted to put that out there. It looks like Instagram. It's a really dope platform. I wanted to put that out there. And where can they find you, J-Fo?
Again. You can find me at Exposure, EXPOZHER. And if you are in the Dallas area, Plano, North Dallas area, You can find me at Lash and Soul, which is my bread and butter beauty and wellness salon, and that's at LASHANDSOUL, Lash and Soul.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself physically, mentally, and financially. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.